Welcome to another edition of the Hoop Scoop, brought to you by Red Raider Outfitter, the fans' favorite since 1975. I'm Jared Johnson, and Texas Tech's coming off a big upset of Kansas State just on Saturday here at the USA in Lubbock, 71-63. Kansas State was number 12 at the time. It's a big win for Texas Tech for a number of reasons, but as you start stacking evidence together, Texas Tech has actually been pretty dang good here in the last 4 or 5 games, with the one notable exception being the 26 or 27 point loss at Baylor. They beat Iowa State at home, that big 23-point comeback. That was a historic comeback. And then, they played Oklahoma State tough after the big loss at Baylor, and then beat Kansas State. And now they have number 6 Texas coming to town. Obviously, this is a big game. It's going to be part of the big Monday matchup on ESPN. It's lost some of its luster, of course, with Beard no longer being there, but still, it's Texas Tech, Texas. It's at the USA in Lubbock, and the Red Raiders seem this may be a really good time for them to possibly pull off the upset. And perhaps the upset may not be as unlikely as one might think, just looking at the records and the teams on paper, as Vegas has Texas as just a 4-point favorite. So, I really believe that Texas Tech has a huge opportunity to upset Texas, and this would be very big for Mark Adams and this program in terms of kind of showing that they are moving in the right direction, they are improving, and there's reasons for optimism moving forward even after this season. But then also, hey, you put enough win. If you can beat Texas, then you can win almost every game remaining on your schedule. And there's some tough games. The one exception being, it's hard for me to see this team beating Kansas at the Phog. Crazier things have happened, I suppose, but that one seems a bit far-fetched. Just such a tough place to play, and Kansas is Kansas. All the things that go with that. But, if Kevin O'Banner continues to play well, and really Davion Harmon has been dominant for stretches where he's scored in bunches for Texas Tech, and then Jalen Tyson's been very consistent. Earlier in the season, he was inconsistent. He'd have a big game followed up by a no-show, or a big half followed up by a no-show in the second half. He's scored in double digits, I believe, each of the last 4 games. He's really helping on the boards. He turned the ball over too many times against Kansas State, but that's going to happen against a good defense in the Big 12, and him being a younger player as a sophomore, but really a first-year player. He played a little bit for Texas last season before transferring to Texas Tech, but for all intents and purposes, this is really his first true season. And he's come on. He's that talent potential has really shown out, and they're going to need him against Texas. Obviously, this is a big game for him, having transferred from UT to Texas Tech last year. So, and the Red Raiders played Texas pretty tough in Austin. So UT was going through a lot of stuff there with all the Chris Beard suspension and then firing and all that. But and they're playing really well. They are. They're playing like a top 10 team, and they have the talent of a top 10 team, a team that could win it all, to be honest. But I expect a big crowd at the USA tonight. It's a national TV audience. We'll see if Texas Tech can respond to that challenge of playing the Longhorns and possibly pulling off a big win. But for now, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.